It was just 12:22 as I was getting this started. Now it's 12:23. Sunday afternoon, August 20th. I was not going to share this, but I was called to do a reading, and I'm like, I feel pretty good. But I think there's so much momentum in the energies that even though it's the same energy, maybe it faces different things as it evolves and gains momentum. So, and then just very clear confirmation of some of the same messages. I just took a hot shower. Hold on, I'm like, need to drink some water. Little piece of shungite in there, just distilled water that I make myself. I'm cleansing today. I had my coffee, some whole, raw, organic, grass-fed, no water, just milk. So that milk with my instant coffee, because once that coffee's ready, it's in my belly. So, and just horrible sugar, regular sugar. Usually I use maple syrup or organic raw sugar. So anyway, I wanted to share this reading that I did for myself. I'm going to split it up a little bit because I want to give the trees their respect, their majesty. So, and a few came out and I want to read from the book. So that's going to be all its own, but it was one complete reading. But I'm going to do all the other cards, even with the tarot and everything, and then do the tree one just in and of itself. So if you're not interested in tree medicine, then you lucked out. And if you are, then definitely I would go check this out. So it'll be posted after this one. I'm going to do it right after, just like I was going to do it all together, but I figured I'm going to separate it just out of respect. So I'm just going to hit stop and then record again and go on to the tree. So this one will probably be uploaded first because it'll be longer, so I don't know. We'll see. Anyway. And I shuffled center style first, like casino style, So, and I think that's important just for my own process, because sometimes when you start shuffling like this, the cards will just start jumping out. So it just gives me the confidence knowing that I already shuffled it that way and cleared it really well, so that what comes out is meant to come out. So as I was shuffling the king, so a big chunk came out, and I'm using the same Sacred Circle Tarot deck. And the Hermit's Shaman, which I got yesterday on my side, and then I got the Seven of Wands. So it's like, my twin had the Seven of Wands, and I think I shared that one with you guys. Yeah, so the masculine had the Seven of Wands, and then I just did a reading for myself yesterday. And I got the Seven of Wands on my side using the same deck with the Hermit. So I'm really thinking like, and they got it with the Chariot. So I really think like it's the same energy, okay? It's just expressed differently. With the feminine, it's more going on internally, I feel, and for the masculine it's external. So that Seven of Wands, that's speaking your truth externalizing that conflict. It's like inner dialogue conflict, like inner dialogue conflict for the feminine, but for the masculine, it's inner dialogue conflict that needs to be expressed outwardly, whereas the feminine really just needs to process this internally, because it's more has to do with the self, which it does with the masculine, but it's expressing itself in the dynamic of relationship to other people, I think, okay? And for the feminine, it's just herself, okay? So I was really getting, so with the Hermit and being the Shaman, and then what came up with the tree cards, and that Seven of Wands on our side now. So like the feminine is having, they're having this inner dialogue conflict in this inner communication, this inner dialogue of the ego creeping in, that's been affected by things that other people have said, and maybe different things that resonated with us at one time but don't anymore. But so these things are coming up, and we're having like a little bit of an inner dialogue because this expressive, creative juice, the feminine, is really coming out. So the ego's going to want to jump in there and snatch in there, but it's okay. Just say thanks for your 2 cents, and then slap it down like you're supposed to, and then continue on with your evolution and growth. Really, just oscillating with that doubt, doubting your gifts, doubting your ability to anything, create, lose weight, all of that. Okay. Yeah, like today I'm cleansing. I had my coffee, then I cleansed out, like, you know what I mean. Do your bathroom morning routine. I waited till my stomach was empty. Then I drank my baking soda water. I'm going to do another dose of having some water in between because I don't want to drink baking soda water while I'm doing this. So, and then after that, and it's been really well, working really well. No diop, all this. This is only the first time I did it. I busted out real bad. And so, yeah, getting prepared for my hike tomorrow, just my own energies. My son will be in school, and I'll have a few hours of myself to go on a beautiful hike, trail, go be one with these energies. So, same energy, push, pull. So, the feminine, magnetic, she's pulling it. This is an internal dialogue, okay? Maybe some discord. This needs to be released before this eclipse, full moon, or was it new moon, full moon? It doesn't matter. I believe it's a full moon, because I'm really getting like release energy, but I forgot to check before I got it. But I believe it's a full moon in Leo, and then actually on the day of the eclipse, the solar eclipse, it transits, and the moon transits into Virgo. And Cancer, Leo, and Virgo is very much, so I feel like the Cancer anchor, the Cancer is the cardinal, okay, and then the Leo is the fixed sign that anchors that Cancer energy. So when it first comes into Leo, it's more of the heart of the lion, Then by towards the very end, there might be a little bit of a roar, even maybe a bite, maybe even some real teeth sinking in, depending on your situation, near the very end, right before the mutable sign of Virgo, okay, where it is kind of that intermediary energy before Libra, before the next cardinal sign, which will be very nice, very balancing. I feel good energy coming in for September, October, and weather and all that. So as I was shuffling, that big chunk came out, and there was one by itself, which was the King of Pentacles. And I thought, oh, this is too many. You guys, just give me one. Maybe 3 at the most. Just one. And then I just surrendered. I'm like, okay, whatever you guys want to give me. And okay, whatever. I'm not going to regret that I put it back. If the King of Pentacles is important, it'll come back out. So a 3 card chunk flipped out. And I was asking for cards for the Divine Masculine specifically. So when these flipped out, this was what was on the top. The Knight of Pentacles. And this specifically says husbandry. Okay, and that is a field of study, but, husband, dry. He's dry. He needs his moisture, right? Because he's fire. He's dry. So, but that's the King of Pentacles, right? So the Knight of Discs, the Knight of Pentacles. So to be grounded, right, you need the balance of that fire and that water. You can't be burned up and disintegrate. You can't be drowned. Either way, that's extinguishing. So, to be distinguished. So this is kind of like the King of Pentacles, but in action with that passion of like, really wanting that balance. I'm not sure if he's necessarily embodying this, but he really wants to embody this, so he's seeking out that water to be that earthly knight that's really grounded and confident in his every step, his decisions, the people that he chooses to engage with, the type of work that he does. Everything, mind, body, spirit, all aligned. So his beliefs go with the food he eats and so on and so forth, okay? How he interacts with people. So that was on the top. That was the top card. This was the bottom card, Ace of Swords. So he's very clear about what he wants. And it's coming in loud and clear from Source. So this is Ace of Swords. See, it's just like all this purple. Crown chakra, very high vibrational, violet. Sahasrara, okay? Ra Rajesh Kumbha. So that was the bottom card. And these are the three that flipped out. So Queen of Swords, imagination. So I think he's really tapping into, because the sun, it was right next to the sun, the feminine aspect of God. Okay, so the clarity, the light, the truth, the love of the feminine. So imagination. I believe this is a Queen of Swords. Okay, but the star card came out for the feminine, okay, and I really see that as the visionary. So we have the star, which I see as the visionary, and then we have imagination. So both, in their own way, both twins, masculine and feminine, are tapping into this visionary, okay. So in the minor arcana, court cards, it'd be the Queen of Swords, and the major arcana corresponding card could be the star card, because the Queen of Swords is very spiritual. Okay, she's the enlightened one, the enlightened queen. And there you go with the sun card right next to that. So maybe he's really visualizing this beautiful balanced life, okay, with his feminine. And so that leads to, now what do I need to know to get there, to have this thing that I'm imagining, that I'm envisioning, that I'm seeing through my third eye, the truth of what I really want. How do I get there? How do we get there? He's asking. Well, God says there's things you need to sacrifice, and that literally, that's a lot of the times that's the energy I get from the Hangman. That's sacrifice. Okay, maybe you have to be still. Maybe you can't be running around having all kinds of fun. Maybe you need to sacrifice some fun, some of your time, some of your energy to put towards your divine feminine and imagining your life with her or him. Okay, so the Sun, the Hangman, the Queen of Swords, that's flipped out. And when those three cards flipped out together in a chunk, Ace of Swords was at the bottom, Knight of Pentacles at the top. He wants this, he's very clear about what he wants his physical reality to look like, and he's willing to move forward to achieve that with God's guidance, that Ace of Swords and the Hangman and the Sun. Okay. He's envisioning what he wants. He's willing to sacrifice what he needs to get there. And through the vision, that desire is created. Now, God, show me the way. Well, I can't even show you the way until some things are just out of your life. That's why that's such a big, that sacrifice, being that suspended animation, having to be still, so you can really dedicate that time to focusing on what needs to go before you can even move forward. So God's saying, well, these things need to go. What are you willing to sacrifice? That will, depending on what you choose, that will dictate how far and how quickly you move along on your path and how much you're enjoying your journey. For the feminine, only one card flipped out, and it was reflection. Now, That's very much feminine, okay? But here's a man in this card. So she's also imagining what it would look like to have union with her twin flame. And see, again, this very high vibrating crown chakra, third eye, these violet and fuchsia colors, okay? So this purple here, just like in that Ace of Swords, lots of purple and gold in the corners too. See there? So the information is raining down on him. Well, this is for the feminine. So she's imagining him coming in beautiful and loving and just that divine masculine. All the distortions released, you know, with that hangman and the sun, and it just, that's how he'll arrive, or he won't arrive, okay? So all the feminine has to do is trust in herself and keep, however you do a vision board, it can be through meditation. You can draw pictures, diagrams, you can do, however, it doesn't matter. Just holding that thought, imagining your life, that lull, the lizard medicine of reflection, imagination, that daydreaming, right? So a little of that is going to be necessary, especially with all this energy and information coming in. We're really going to have to just be peaceful, centered, and that strong column, right? Just a pillar. Yeah, I really feel like these setting of intentions, these intentions that you set during this time are going to manifest. And so it's going to be very important to focus, prioritize, and really be as specific as possible with what you want out of your life and what you want to call in. Because you have the star on the bottom, divine feminine. And I think, is this the one? No, there was one that had strawberries all over this. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, because I already had, if you've watched my channel for a while, if you saw that video, it was a few when the red and white color combination kept coming to me. So now I understand what that meant. And strawberries kept coming to me on. So the motif, it's all these, okay, and you'll see that a lot in a lot of older, you know, religious paintings, the strawberry and the red and white color combination, which represents the pure eternal spirit, the white, and then the blood is the flesh, the human experience. So the human spirit, right? So restriction was on the top, 5 of Pentacles. And all I think that means is, like, just restrict those thoughts. If they come up, just be a bud nipper. Like, any doubt that comes up, it's not that you can, okay, it's going to come up, but you don't have to engage in it. So, and this could be, you know, maintaining purity for your twin flame and staying celibate and not needing to be flattered and flirted with and complimented and all this stuff. Just being secure in yourself, knowing how much your twin flame loves you, how much you love yourself, how much God loves you, how much Gaia loves you and supports you. So there's a little bit of sacrifice maybe here too. Okay, diet, maybe we're losing some weight, we want to look cute for when our twin flame comes, right? So a little bit of calorie restriction, a little bit of sacrifice, okay? Because the thing you're sacrificing, what you're going to gain from sacrificing that thing is going to be so much more, worth so much more than the thing you're sacrificing, okay? The reward for sacrificing that thing. Okay, so I think the masculine and feminine both have a little bit of envisioning to do, maintaining their truth. And those two go hand in hand. And then a little bit of restriction and sacrifice, however that translates to your life. So as I was shuffling the butterfly oracle deck, the Doreen Virtue butterfly, this is what flew out. Decisions. So it's these decisions during this eclipse, moon cycle, it's very important, these decisions, to be as clear and as focused and best prioritized as possible. So when that flipped out, I have the 2 chunks in my hand. That was on the bottom, Heavenly Signs. And isn't that just a beautiful card too? The colors. So beautiful. Periwinkly. So, Heavenly Signs, okay, the Sun card, the Ace of Swords, the Star, okay, the Star for the feminine, and the Ace of Swords and Sun for the masculine. Okay, Heavenly Signs. And I mean, also the Hangman, that's Major Arcana, so God will show you how to do what you need to do to get what you want. So that was on the bottom, Heavenly Signs, and the top card was Parental Care, and I got that one again. So as everything flourishes, so you become a better parent, a better person, better friend, all that, okay? You love yourself better, more. So, oh, and right under that was healthcare change. Okay, so maybe, yeah, I feel like I'm being a better parent now that I have more energy and I feel healthier and stuff. There's a lot of guilt there, like, oh God, I know we need to go to the park, but I can't walk, right? So, what was under Heavenly Signs? Under Heavenly Signs was new exercise program. So seriously, especially with the weather, take advantage of it right now, y'all. Get hiking. I'm gonna it's gonna be under 90. It'll be mid to high 80s all this week. A little bit of cloud cover. So I'm gonna try to hike every day. Just like a mile, whatever, just little mile or 2 hikes. So no biggie. You are stronger than you know was the bottom of that chunk that was in that hand. And right behind that, let's see. Take the next step now. So that full energy of take that leap of faith. So that next step, every step's a leap of faith on this path, right? And you're stronger than you know. You can do it. You can handle it. So realizations and epiphanies was the top one. Breakfast at Epiphanies. Y'all can have that. And then the one under that, oh, windfall. Look at that. Yeah, so I really feel, this keeps coming up too, I really feel like there's a lot of money, whether it's your own and you're cashing in retirement, this, that, whatever it is, there's a windfall coming. Inheritance, you rob a bank, no, I'm just kidding. So, decisions for both, right? Decisions through your visions, that's what I just got. Thank you, team. I love when they talk like that. So, your visions are going to lead you to your decisions. So you really need to dedicate that time. And if you don't, God's going to make sure you find a way to do it. Because the Major Arcana cards that are here, ensuring that. Oh, so when I was done shuffling everything, this was what ended up at the, after I did both masculine and feminine. This was I believe this was the top card. Doesn't matter. Yeah, because that's on the, okay, so this was the top card. This is the 4 of Wands. Development. Okay, so things are developing. That fire, that passion, that drive, the creative juices, we're moving forward. Things are developing towards the goal of this happy home. It's just no more drama, jealousy, games, withholding, just open, pure, true, unconditional love. Acceptance. Okay. And what was at the bottom? Lord Adonai. So I believe that's number 4. That's the Emperor. So, and it kind of looks, well, looks like 3, well, he's got a stick in his hand, but there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 tree trunks that are kind of like 2 in the foreground and 2 that are kind of eliminated, and then he has a staff in his hand, which is so beautiful. There's like rainbow coming off of it, and those look like moths. Could be butterflies, but their wings are spread out. Usually moths are the ones that have their wings spread out. Oh, there's that could be badger. There's deer. There's rabbit. So I believe that's badger. It could be skunk. I think it's badger. It looks like a badger face, but the Lord. Isn't he a cutie pie? Just men dressed all holy and so. There's just, Jesus is I know it's just depicted in movies or whatever, but like, can't get better than that. No Tom Cruise or whatever could ever compare to Jesus. Oh, best man I've ever loved. So, from the Spirit Oracle deck, 2 flipped out, and these flipped out like right away. And so, it was New Direction and Aura of Love, and this came out before, was presented itself. So, the union of light and dark, of earth and sky, balancer of anima and animus, the merger of 2 souls. Acknowledge the masculine and feminine aspects of yourself, both yin and yang, to create a perfect balance. Aura of love. So the light, this light that's coming in is of love. Okay? It's like, needs to be eclipsed out to really be appreciated when it comes in, right? And that's a big part of like separation, why we have to go through this. So we can, when we come together, we can actually appreciate each other and choose our battles and, right, really prioritize and let go of all the stupid shit and drama. And all the pain associated with attachments to our past and past lives and childhood that make us triggered into continually engaging and re-engaging in that drama. So life may seem like a whirlwind at the moment, yeah. A vortex, huh? Of masculine and feminine. Yet there is a divine order to the present circumstance. What may appear as chaos is often angelic forces of the universe at work. After the storm clears, you will be steered in a new direction. A time of renewed health, joy, and abundance. New direction, and the decisions you make this is gonna be the thing that takes you in that new direction where you want to go. And where you want to go is somewhere new, because all the old ain't working. Out with the old, in with the new. New direction. And when those flew out, what ended up on the top, again, was this Innocence card. So, and I'm really getting this for the Divine Feminine, well, masculine too, but really the doubt that comes in for the feminine has to do with any kind of abuse. You could have suffered abuse from parents, from exes, a husband, or whatever, that made us feel impure, that we were wrong, that we were bad, that, or we felt like, oh, we are so weak, we got sucked into another dysfunctional relationship, and then it brought out the worst in us, and you're pure. You just need to hold that thought. And then release it, because when we're struggling to hold on to a thought, it's because we're afraid of, if we let it go, that we're going to revert back. So even knowing that you don't even have to hold on to this innocence. We're remade, we're reborn, made new in every moment, every now, okay? But especially for the feminine, I really am getting this for her, okay? Return to innocence. Have faith. Okay, faith was at the bottom. And guidance again. Silver vibration again. So have faith in your guidance, that there's a silver lining, that there's an answer, there's a solution. Right behind innocence is tranquility and remembrance. You're gonna, if you just remember who you are, Divine Feminine, you're gonna have tranquility, okay? Remembrance, tranquility. Just remember who you are, and that'll bring you back to peace. You're a pure, eternal being of light. And you're perfect, and you're beautiful. Okay? New direction, people. Have faith in your guidance. Trust in your inner knowing. Trust in your team. Trust in God. Okay, so these cards, I was going to do this separate too, or maybe with the trees. I'm like, no, because it really goes, this really is good twin flame energy. The aura of love came out there. So the swan card flew out, and we all know that swans, if you didn't know, they mate for life. Okay. And we have starling at the top and blue jay at the bottom. So these are very important because the swan, okay, the twin flames, the mates for life, that's very, and it's card 35, which reduces to 8, that karmic, not karmic, but that eternal tie, that infinite tie that you have with your twin flame, okay? So getting over the conflict of that 5 to gain understanding. Now the 3 of the Christ consciousness. Now you're that heart-centered Christ consciousness, 3 chakras above, 3 chakras below. You're heart-centered right in the middle of that figure 8. That's where the heart chakra is. 3, 5, 8. So that flew out. Blue jay is number 2, which is at the bottom, and that's a very divine masculine card, as I will read, you'll see. And that's a man bird, okay, and this is a woman bird, or the feminine, okay, and that's the starling, and that's 33. So we have 2, okay, we have 3, and we have 3, 5, and then reduces to 8. So all these numbers are very important. So let's read the swan first. I am Swan, the poet and the muse. Okay, just like being the mirror and the reflection and the thing being reflected. Okay, we're all of it. Because it's all God. God is in everything. So we're all in everything. We're all connected through God. I am Swan, the poet and the muse. I am strength in beauty. Oh, divine feminine, that's for you. I am the fortitude of love and the undying inspiration of the soul. I feel like that's for the divine masculine. I am great symphonies and priceless art. Now that's the combination, the fusion of the two. So, both twin flames together is one. Okay. I am the harmony of an expressive way of life. You need to soften the harshness of your world and allow sweeter tides to flow in. That creative juice. Okay. I am the ideal of aesthetic accomplishment and will call forth the finest creations from the human soul. This is your time to let the good life unfold. Let the music play. And that goes with the tree cards that came up too, the willow. Allow the books to pile up. Savor each brushstroke of your next fantastic whim. I am a peaceful escape when the world piles up on you. I will reflect your inner elegance for you to see. There are dark corners that need the light. There is a shadow that needs refinement. There are creative impulses yearning for fruition. So to not block those creative juices from flowing, divine feminine, especially you right now, that's what you are, the creative, okay? You need to be receiving. So if you have any blocks, any doubts in yourself, you're not going to be receiving those things, okay? So, and that creative juice really wants to flow right now, so don't block it. Any bit of rust that needs to be sanded off, and put a little rust coat on there to prevent any more rusting. What you got to get it done, okay? Do a little bit of prep work, clear out those last little remnants, some oxide, copper oxide, iron oxide. You gotta get a little bit of sandpaper out there, put the Rust-Oleum on, and be good to go, and now start creating. Because they're yearning for fruition, these creative impulses, yearning for fruition. You are ordering the chaos. Didn't we just get a card? This is a little poem-y part at the bottom here. Didn't we just get a card that says or something out of chaos or something? I swear. I know. Maybe it was one of the trees. Okay. You are ordering the chaos. See how it gets all connected, but this has to be its own. You are heightening the senses. You are unfolding grace. You are swan. Oh, grace. And I was just walking around downtown yesterday. And I didn't buy it because it was like $27, but they have this huge rock in the store that I've gone, not that I get cards and stuff, but the one that has like that had that cool Buddhist saying, Confucius, life's actually pretty simple, we just make it complicated. And then I had the same yogurt top that said the same thing. It's a beautiful little, like, they have like nice gardeny stuff in there, but they have a bunch of stones. Some of them were really nice, like carved in there. And they had a big one, the biggest one they had, and it was in the window, and it said grace. So, Grace. And that's the one that flipped out too. And Grace is a very important name to me. And that's what me, my son, my twin, all versions of what it means is grace. All versions of the feminine and masculine, John, Anna. Evo, Zoshim, and Anna. Okay, anyway. Oh, Lord. Okay. The swan. That's right. It said grace. Okay, so, and look how beautiful these are, watercolor paintings. Just, God, I can't believe that, like, when you buy a tarot deck, you know, it's like little mini prints of these beautiful pieces of art. I can't believe how, really, it's not very expensive at all. Like, $20 really is, at the, that's pretty much the average price, 20 something, you know, and it's like 72 pieces of, it's just gorgeous, right? It's, I love it just for the art alone. So I used to do that with calendars. Save the, like I had a Salvador Dali calendar, saved all the artwork from that. When the calendar was all spent, I saved the artwork, put it up on my wall. So now we're going to read, I remember the numbers, 33 and 2. So let's read the one for the Divine Masculine. This was really powerful. Okay, so here we go. Blue Jay. I am Blue Jay, the advantage of a quick wit and intellect. And he's going to need it right now. Okay. I am the first one heard. I am the brightest one seen. I command attention and dive right in. That's what he's got to do. It's time. Now it's time, man. It's got to happen now, or it's not going to happen for a long time. And they can't go on like that, so. I fear nothing and I take what I need. I am the crucial adaptation of a successful life. I have the discipline to master new skills. Right? Just like that Knave of Swords. Okay, when the student is ready, the master will appear. It is fine to learn new things, but dabbling in too many will keep you scattered, right? It's very prioritize and focus right now. Be as specific as possible. I am the need to follow through. I wear the crown of achievement. I am the proper use of knowledge. Right? Not to manipulate people, right? To the proper use of knowledge, righteousness. You may need to be louder to get what you want. You may have to outsmart the others, but do not be afraid to draw attention to yourself. Let the world know you are there and ready to take control. I am incomparable in self-certainty. Yeah. I am the victory of taking by sheer will. Get out into the world and take what you have worked so hard for. That's right. That's for Divine Feminine and Masculine. Get out in the world and take what you have worked so hard for. Go claim what's yours. Stop being afraid. Blue Jay ain't afraid. You see those little I hate those birds. Just kidding. Right? They're so annoying. Like always harassing your dog and taking their food, and they're squawking. You're trying to sleep in on that day, and you're saying that outside. Like the crested blue sounds like that too, and that's one of my totem animals. I love them. But the Blue Jay, man, and they have that little look in their eye like kids get or cats get, that little wince when they're having an attitude. Blue Jays get that freaking look too. Okay, so the little poem thing down at the bottom. You are presence. You are survival. You are bold ambition. You are Blue Jay. And that's on page 7. Okay, Swan was on page 40, which reduces to 4. And Starling, which is card number 33, is on page 38, which reduces to 11. So 11 and 33. So this was the top one. Oh, and that silver lining, Starling, Sterling. Okay, right? Beautiful artwork on these cards. That's the back. Okay, little Native American, like. So, all right, Starling. I am Starling, the relinquishing of the ego. Oh, yes! Divine Feminine. Tell your ego to shut up when it's blocking you from your creative feminine flow. Don't doubt yourself. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Relinquishing of the ego. Okay. I am the binding of society. I am the way, the binding of society. Corset. A vision of a corset just popped into my head. Right? The oppression of women, the binding and bound creative flow, right? It wants to flow. It's unbound, right? It's ready to bust. It can't hold back. Just like with the masculine, we can't go on like this any longer. The divine feminine can't go on like this any longer. She's got to let her divine feminine flow. Okay. I am the way the entire world affects you, and the way you affect the entire world. I am unity. I am wholeness. I'm gonna cry. Oh, jeez. This is very important for the divine feminine to listen to this. You have reached a time when your work must be shared. Stop hoarding your gifts. Stop hiding your wisdom. What you learn is only as good as how you use it to teach others. Rewind that part and play it back as many times as you need. I am tradition. I am your ability to bring others together in meaningful ways. It is time to express. It is time to blend yourself into the bigger picture. Being group-minded doesn't mean giving up personal power, but rather allowing that power to shine brighter. You need to allow for your light. So here's a little poem part at the bottom. You are a gathering of like minds. You are the expansion of ideas. You are the catalyst. You are Starling. I love that deck, and I love how powerful the words are written. So, powerfully the words are written. Okay, so I covered the butterflies, the birds, that one, that. Okay, so I'll do the tree one, and that's just magical, and look what came out with it. I mean, the U, that's union, and U means correlates to John, which is, okay, so U tree is very magical, and I have one, and okay, so yeah, synchronicities with all that. 4338. I love you guys, and blessings to you all. Peace be upon you all.